Hi everybody, so this is what's happening today. I decided to let go of my Hobie Outback and just picked up a Hobie Compass. Both of those are 2021 year, and there's a few reasons I decided to do that. So the way I transport my Outback is I usually use the T-bone bed extender, and I load it up in my SUV, all rigged up and ready to go in the morning. And then on the way back, I'm always stuck in traffic, and having these things stick out 6 feet behind my SUV on the bed extender, it's just a numbers game until somebody rear-ends me. So I do load it up on the bed extender in the morning or the night before, all rigged up and ready to go to the water. And then on the way back, what I usually try to do is basically rooftop it and come back that way, so it's not sticking up and I'm not in bumper to bumper traffic with that thing behind me. One thing about the Outback is it's not that big of a pain to rooftop, but it is heavy. So that was one of the reasons I decided to get rid of it. And the other reason is I am trying to do a lot more surf launches, going into waves, big swells, big surf, and the Outback just handles horribly. The nose dives, I'm getting a lot of water through the hatch, and even though they both say they're 34 inches wide, the Compass is much slender. They're both 34 inches wide at where the seat is probably only, but the Compass is way more slicker, and hopefully it's gonna be easier to use my paddle to punch through the surf and get out of the zone faster than the Outback. Not doing it for the cost, even though the Compass ends up costing me $1,000 less. As far as the Outback, it's just perfect with all the options that it has. For anybody that's probably fishing lakes or bass fishing or anything like that, the Outback is probably the way to go. The Compass is just every little thing on it, it's as cheap as it can get. Having them both side by side and looking at them, comparing the accessories, yep, they did chip and out on everything to keep the cost down. But saying all that, I do fish like 100% ocean, and even though with all the accessories I bring, I really haven't used most of the accessories that come already and all the luxuries that the Outback has to offer. The front hatch, I thought I was gonna need that when I bought it. Honestly, I only use it to store my battery for the fish finder, and the only other thing is good for it's just sipping water through the gasket. So I can live without the hatch for sure. The fish finder dropout for the side scan, I don't usually use that at all. Map pockets, never even had anything in there, and I've been on this pretty much at least once a week for the past 2 years. All the little pull-outs are nice, but really only probably used not even half of those. As far as the seat, it's always the frustrating part how to put it in. The stuff of the front flush rod holders, never use those. The stuff on the back, never use them. I usually have my live well on the back and I store my rods on the live well, and I have a trolling rod on the front. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, it's going for sale, and hopefully it doesn't bite me that I went this route, but we'll see what happens. As far as the compass, I know one thing that I'm gonna miss, but I can live without, is the dual steering. So it comes only with a single steering knob. And the only other problem I'm having right now is the fish finder installation because of my big transducer. It just has the small Lowrance insert on the bottom, and probably gonna have to end up with the Burley Pro, and that sticks out on the bottom, and that's the only problem so far right now with the compass that I encountered. As far as accessories and what I'm gonna do with it, I already installed the square hatch. As far as the pedals, I'm keeping the turbo kick-up fins. I have steel cables on the pulls. And one thing I really like about this is, usually when I go to surf, the waves knock my pedal drive always in the water. With this thing, I'm hoping that once it's in here, I can get a couple of waves over the ball and they're not gonna fall out. And I'm not gonna install a round hatch in the front. I just don't want any access to the hole through there, and don't want to deal with any more water going through there in some way. As far as the front hatch, when you go with the horizontal one, the drop bucket does not fit. It stays high on one side, so in a little bit I'm probably gonna melt this thing a little bit with a heat gun and try to mold it in there. The seat, these things are horrible, the way they latch to the pad eyes, and for some reason I think those pull-outs are a little bit shorter, so my seat kind of stays forward. I cannot lean it back, and I just put some 550 paracord in here so it extends it a little bit, and also I don't have to get frustrated with those pad eyes. One other mod I'm gonna do is probably get one of the handles and attach it over here, both as another handle for lifting, and also because this cup holder, bottle holder really is useless unless you have something around here. I did put my SII Sniper Industries rudder, the aluminum, and the only other thing I'm gonna do is probably put another keel guard in the front and end up getting the Burley Pro raised handle, so it at least is a little bit easier to steer without, since I only have now one. And that's pretty much it. So bye bye Hobie Outback, hello Hobie Compass. This is basically a joke when you lift it, how light it is and how easy it is to rooftop it and just move it around. As far as stability, I'm gonna realize exactly what's happening when I'm on the water. But yep, the Outback is a goner. Let me know what you think about it, if I made the wrong choice. I did end up getting this for a pretty good price. It's a used one, but it was been only used once, so I can always sell it and get my money back and go a different route if I want to. But I did want to stay with the Hobie brand, just because I have a adventure island also, and I can move accessories from one to another, use the same drive and all that stuff. Later, bye.